you want to take a longer break, right? Like a sabbatical or a mini retirement. Mini retirement is a concept, which is coined by Tim Ferriss. तो मिनी रिटायरमेंट लेना है, राइट? तो साल 2 साल काम नहीं करेंगे, उसके बाद वापस काम रिज्यूम करेंगे. यू कांट डू दैट बिकॉज you have EMI to pay. Welcome back to the channel, friends. Today I'm going to talk about buying real estate early in 20s or early 30s, right? So real estate खरीदना, घर खरीदना, it's a topic which is close to everyone's heart and also a very controversial topic when you talk to a financial advisor or someone who deals, with money in and out. Now, why? So what is my answer? Before I tell you my answer, let me tell you that I have started another channel where I, along with my wife, are talking about money, life, living life, creating different experiences. So I am sharing the link of the channel here. Please take a look at it. In the first video, we are talking about how and why we quit our jobs, right? So coming back to purchasing real estate early in 20s. So folks, the whole idea ये क्या है ना कि सब आपको कहेंगे जैसे आपको जॉब मिल जाती है, वंस यू सेटल डाउन इन लाइफ, आपको बोलेंगे कि घर खरीद लो फिर शादी कर लेना, राइट? घर खरीद लो सो दैट यू आर सेटल्ड इन लाइफ, बिकॉज द अल्टीमेट definition of settling in India is that you have a job which pays you well, you have a house, you have a car, and you are married, and lastly you have kids, right? That is the ultimate definition of settling in India. Now I am totally against this rule, right? Because क्या होता है ना, early in life what you do is you buy a house and you end up in a commitment for 20 or 30 years. आप 20 से 30 साल का लोन लेके बैठ जाओगे and you will be stuck with that loan, right? Because this will bind you in a commitment wherein आप कुछ और नहीं कर पाओगे अपने लाइफ में. तो अगर आपको फॉर एग्जाम्पल और पढ़ना है, you will not be able to do that because you have an EMI to payment to make, right? Or if you want to take a break from your job and travel the world for a bit, or just sit at home and learn something else, you will not be able to do that because you have an EMI to pay. Or you want to take a longer break, right? Like a sabbatical or a mini retirement. Mini retirement is a concept which is coined by Tim Ferriss. तो mini retirement लेना है, right? तो साल 2 साल काम नहीं करेंगे, उसके बाद वापस काम रिज्यूम करेंगे. You can't do that because you have EMI to pay, right? So then so next 10-15 years you are stuck, right? You can't start think about starting your own business. You can't start think about you can't even think about retiring early or financial freedom because the early years of your life will be spent paying an EMI. और जब आपको वो पैसे सेव करना था और इन्वेस्ट करना था, दैट विल गो इनटू EMIs, एंड देन आपको इन्वेस्टमेंट का जब टाइम आएगा, यू विल हैव टू डू दैट इन द लेटर ईयर्स ऑफ योर लाइफ एंड ऑल्सो वर्क फॉर अ लॉन्गर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. सो यू विल बी बाउंड टू एम्प्लॉयमेंट if you buy a house early in life. Then financially does it make sense or not? Say for example, अगर आपकी salary 1 lakh rupees है and you are living in a rented accommodation of 30,000 rupees, okay? Now if you buy a house, okay, so your EMI commitment, what do you think, how much will it be equal to rent? No, right? It will be at least 50,000 rupees to 80,000 rupees depending on the type of house you buy, right? So if you take a home loan of 70 lakh rupees, your EMI will be around 55,000 rupees, and if you take a home loan of 1 crore rupees, it will be around 77,000 rupees, right? So you are bound to a higher EMI versus your rent. Then आपको एक ही जगह पे रहना पड़ेगा. You can't change houses and change location, right? So in your early 20s, you may not know where you will ultimately settle down, right? So अगर आपने घर खरीद लिया तो either then, and if you want to move, if you get a better opportunity in your life, say you have to move outside your home country and work in any other foreign nation, then either you sell this house or put this on rent, right? So it becomes a wasteful expenditure wherein you have to do a lump sum payment in the form of down payment also, and then you continue to invest extra in this house and not invest in any financial assets. So what happens is that you end up making most of your capital goes into this. Think about this also. Say for example, you bought a house of 1 crore rupees, okay, और उसमें you made a down payment of 25 lakh rupees, which is your entire net worth, right? And you borrowed 75 lakh rupees. So you have taken a leverage of 300% ideally, right? You borrowed 75 lakh rupees, made a down payment of 25 lakh rupees, and so इतनी बड़ी leverage for an asset which will not give you more than 2-3% returns after all expenses over the longer term is useless, right? And then you will all your capital will only flow towards this asset and nothing else. And इसको asset बुलाना भी useless है, because if you are going to live in it, it's not an asset, it's an expenditure for you, right? An asset is something that generates cash flows for you, that generates some returns for you, right? And this does not generate any return for you. So firstly, you should stop being obsessive about buying a real estate. When should you buy it, right? When should you buy it? Before I tell you when you should buy it, comment and tell me if you agree with me so far or not. Okay, so now कब खरीदना है, कब खरीदना है? Once you have married, you have kids, you know you want to settle down, you will eventually have visibility in your life कि आपको life में क्या करना है. That is the one of the right time to buy. And it is not very important to buy. घर खरीदना कोई ज़रूरी नहीं है, right? Just because it only is it is only a status symbol. I am living in my parents' house right now, but if it were up to me, I would happily live in a rented accommodation, because right now, if I could rent, I would rent in a better society where I get access to lots of amenities, including a swimming pool and playing area, walking area and stuff like that. Right now I am living in a standalone apartment जहाँ पे मेरे को ये सारे facilities नहीं है. Okay, just because I'm saving on the rent, I'm living here. Otherwise, I would definitely move out of here, right? So that is something that you should think about, right? There are pros and cons of everything, and if I could rent, I could would move on to other cities also, and maybe in a smaller city and live, right? So this is not possible right now, but if it is possible for you, you should consider these things. Don't block your capital unless you are extremely wealthy or you earn a lot of money. So you should consider also a fact that अगर आप EMI ले रहे हो तो your EMI should not exceed 20 to 25% of your monthly income, so that it will not put a burden on you when you're on your monthly finances, on your daily budget, right? So think about these things before buying a house. Now, when should you, how much lump sum should you pay, right? So say for example, you only have 25 lakhs, then you will have to invest that 25 lakhs and buy a house. So ideally, liquid assets are very important, right? So make sure that your emergency fund is in place, health, life insurance are in place before you make this decision. Then after that, make sure that you have put in aside that you are on track to meet your retirement goal also. If you're not able to meet your retirement goal and just able to create a house, it's useless for you. Then ultimately you will be dependent on your kids or on your other family members, right? Or you'll have to work for more years to pay for your expenses. So figure out all these things. Make sure that you're factored your retirement also when you are purchasing a house. So it is very important. Like we get lots of clients who we tell no कि अगर आप अभी आपको घर नहीं खरीदना है, because planning for your retirement is more important than buying a house. Thank you for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed this. Please do not forget to like